2 millimeters, so it's not a big thing. This is the combining point, so it's 1 centimeter. I put like a pin, and I put a pin over here as well. Because don't trust in the corners. The corners are not like the things you're stitching. The thing you're stitching is exactly 1 centimeter here, so this is the point you have to combine together. Use something edgy like scissor or something you can easily put close to the machine. Fix. And try to coordinate hands with pedals. So you have to push with the scissor, like slightly push it. Meanwhile, you're stitching. Go slow. Okay. You see there's a kind of wavy here a bit, but there's no pinch. I mean, it's like smooth and straight. The side is exactly the same, so I'm stitching quite easily. Like front and back measure exactly the same length. So fix it. Okay, I'm ironing all the stitchings open. There's another option, probably you've seen it before, that the shoulder is like turning towards back. It's possible, absolutely right. But when I do that, I first stitch it and I'm not finishing first. I stitch first, I put the overlock in the end of the stitching and then I turn it towards back. But now I'm just simply open it as usual and keep it open. It's exactly the same. Because you see, it's quite, I mean, there's a lot of things, even though with the overlock makes something like it's thick. So when you press the overlock together, it's like compacting all the 2 layers together. But in here, I can easily open it. The iron makes everything. All right. I set the thing on a doll to see how it looks. Like that. So, in order to try to understand what kind of part is it, just set it on a doll, see which part goes together, like that, like that. As you see, all the lines are looking the reverse side. Armhole, back, and waist. Here and there together. Take all of them. 1, 2. You can pin them together on the doll. In this way, you're not forgetting. And I'm stitching at 1 centimeter. The matching point is this one at 1 centimeter, not the corner. If you match the corner, it's shifting out, so it's not combined perfectly. This must be a ring, so stitch, stitch. Okay. Iron all the stitchings you did.
Is also the color gonna be removed? The color?
Yeah, it will be like an open ring actually, because the center back is still open.
Okay.
It will look like a kind of U shape, kind of oval shape somehow. Yeah, it's almost a circle, like a full circle. Yeah. You have the whole front and 2 back attached on the shoulders. Still open. So. And waist. This is half waist. It will have like a full piece. Okay. Go into the doll again. Double check. Yes. 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 Go stitching. You can easily like pin together the parts as usual, like pin all over if you need to. Don't forget the notches. Remember that you have to cut them off. Like in this way you can easily recognize back and front. I mean, it's quite hard to try to combine front with back reverse because they're measuring in a different way. So there's 2 centimeters difference. So it's kind of hard to see, to make something wrong. I mean, the only thing that happens is like stitching 2 rights or 2 left. That's typical. Well, you unstitch one of the 2s and you stitch it reversed. I'm using like the canvas here. I don't need any adhesive fusing. When you use like fabrics, all the facing will be doubled with the adhesive fusing tela adesiva, which is something that you iron directly on top of that. There's a glue besides it. With the iron, it's gonna get in stiffer and stable, because those measurements like color standing can like change in terms of measurement, stretching, losing shape. So the facing is actually controlling the dimension and the shapes you did. That's why I set them underneath and I'm looking at the bodice. In front of me, there's a bodice. Under it, there's a facing. I stitch without spinning because I have notches, but you can easily pin them up. In here as well, I'm just doing like a circular stitching, so I have to move a bit the piece towards that direction. If you're not feeling safe, just draw with the pen 1 centimeter. In this way, you can easily follow that line, and you're not thinking about it. It's still 1 centimeter. This is done. Waist. It doesn't matter which comes first. Waist here, so. I also keep the body in front of me because I have to control all these things like darts, direction, and every single cut can be controlled if you have it on the front. And armhole. match the side, look at the notches, they're both combining together, shoulder, front notch. Like this. I'm always starting from the armpit point, the most hidden parts of it. Okay.
Is it better to pin it?
Yeah.
Then it doesn't.
I warmly suggest you so. This way you don't have to think about like anything. I mean, just follow 1 centimeter. Yeah. Someone asked me, can I bast it? Posso imbastire? Bast it is like hand stitch it quickly. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Instead of like ripping out the garment like for 100 times, it's better to like to save like 10 minutes and dedicate to the pinning and the setting parts. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you suggest hand stitching fast or pinning?
Well, both of them. Some people hates to have pins there, so they prefer to like bust up. So yeah, the ones you prefer, try both, and so yeah. Well, with the pins, you can easily hurt yourself.
Yeah.
With the hand stitching, quite hard. Okay. I didn't fix these arm sides on the beginning because I have to anyway stitch on top of the starting, so I can easily fix it now. This way I just fixed once and is not having any bulky parts or like we say in Italian gnocchi. Like mass of things. Now I shave it with my scissors on half. Just do it with your like feeling. Go for it. Don't be afraid. I'm like leaving 0.5 somehow, like reducing the centimeter of allowance, because if you leave 1 centimeter, if you're not shaving, this part, especially the armhole, is not turning inside, doesn't have any space, and the seaming allowance is actually affecting to the final results. Shave 0.5. In the past, they were doing these cuts, but they're not so nice, like just seeing them, because they seem like damaged, you know?
Also,
And
if we shave, we don't have to like do those cuts.
yeah, and even though when you iron it, it shows out those cuts. It's actually not very nice. You have to be very, very, very good on ironing to try to hide it. But I don't think it's the point. Just like shave it and it's gonna be perfect. All right. Okay.